My goodness, is that Stacy? Of course it is. It's me. And I'm back with a very serious topic, and I know that I just kind of joked like a couple of seconds ago, but it's just funny because I haven't been on here in a while. It is a serious topic and I'm about to get right into it. But first and foremost, I have to say one thing, and that is, shoot, it's been so long that I've been in here that I don't remember what it is. Let's start with the formal greeting from me to you. What is happening? What is up? My name is Stacy. If you did or did not know, if you're new here and you just randomly clicked on this video, hello. Welcome to this video and my channel. Do you ever just like fix your hair in the mirror and it's looking good and you're like, okay, cool, you're working with me here, you're working with me here. And then you get on camera or you go back into the mirror and you're like, weren't you just working for me like a few minutes ago, or were you not just working for me a few minutes ago? That's what's happening here. Anyway, just have that thought. As I mentioned, today is a very serious topic. Now, I know I don't have that much attention on my channel. I do have a little bit more attention and traction when I'm doing reaction videos, but this was something that really did break my heart to hear, and I wanted to share it forward. And hopefully, after hearing the story, you will want to help and share forward as well. I'm hoping so. So, I was reached out to on Instagram, and it's crazy how things work, because if you follow my vlogs, if not, you probably should, just saying. Might be some entertainment for you. I don't know. You wouldn't know unless you give it a chance, right? So give it a chance. Why not? You would know that I've been having a hard time with being able to film now and getting back into the swing of things, and I'm just having a hard time internally, and a lot of what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Some people really don't want to hear about, but I feel compelled to complain about. I brought that up because it's so crazy how this world works, because everything just so happens that I have a day today to get in my zone and be able to film, and a few days ago I received a message on my Instagram. Hearing the story just made me say, absolutely, I will share this forward. I don't have much of a reach, but I do want to share it forward because it is something that happens all of the time, and maybe we don't hear a lot about it. I certainly don't hear a lot about it. I really don't listen to a lot of the news or read a lot of articles or anything like that. So I'm very unaware of how much this actually happens all of the time, all around us. But I'm sure that if you are somebody who does stay informed about these things, then you know a lot more about this stuff that goes on. But I wanted to put my little grain of salt in to be able to at least talk to you watching. Thank you for being here to watch this, and hopefully you'll find it in your heart to share this forward, to donate, or whatever it is that you may be able to do, however you may help if you would like to help. And without further ado, I say we just get into this. So this story goes as follows. The fiance of Elizabeth Vargas, who we'll be talking about, Melanie, pretty much in a nutshell said, my fiance had the custody of her child taken away by her parents because of her sexuality. Here is the full story. Growing up, you don't realize the importance nor beauty of parenthood. I faced many battles, but fighting my parents for the custody of my daughter was unforeseen. My daughter, Ameria, was ripped away from me because I'm a lesbian. I was raised by two extremely close-minded parents that are extremely successful and financially secure, and now want to raise Ameria as their own. I was a young mother, and they did help us in the early years, but I never expected them to sue me for custody. They knew I didn't have the money to fight them. Even though I'd never been arrested nor done drugs, have an excellent career, and never had a CSS complaint, my parents filed a restraining order against me 6 months ago when I was getting ready to move her to Seattle for my new job opportunity. It devastated me, but I had to leave without her. After 4 months of watching my anguish, my company was kind enough to transfer me back to Dallas to be closer to her. Last week, the judge ruled that she should live with them and that I pay child support, their attorney bills, and only see her supervised at their home, which is very dysfunctional and toxic, which I have recordings to substantiate. How could this happen? I'd pay for a nice home with her own adorable new bedroom, health insurance, and daycare for her. Everyone that knows my situation is in disbelief. I cry over losing my sweet 4-year-old girl, and then cry over my parents manipulating me and now attempting to financially ruin me. I am seeking to appeal to fix this injustice and be reunited with my daughter. After much research, I've come across a law firm that will be my best resource to win her back. I created this GoFundMe account because I initially paid a discount attorney, but now realize I'll have to pay real money to win her back. The money raised will go towards my retainer appeals process, and should you feel more comfortable making direct donations to this, you can contact me and send the attorney funds directly. Thank you all for your support. It means the world to me, and I hope that years from now my daughter will know how hard I fought for her, because she matters, and I will never stop fighting for her. So their goal is $5,000. Right now they have $3,364, which is absolutely wonderful. I can't even begin to imagine how devastated she must be feeling. Imagine Elizabeth going to bed every single night crying, not knowing what's going on, not knowing what's going to happen, wishing she could have her daughter there with her. And how bad this is also affecting Amaria. Imagine everything going on, and this is why I wanted to share this for her, because I know that so many out there are going through this. She mentions turning her life around for the better, because at first her parents had to help her, and she ended up turning that around and be able to provide a better life for her daughter, and all of a sudden they rip her from her. And I just stopped to think, like, it makes me so sad that if her parents' household is toxic, as she's saying, imagine how much you can possibly be affected by that. So it's a tough situation. It just makes me sad, because here you have a mother wanting to be with her daughter, wants to take care of her daughter, wants to provide for her daughter, wants to give her daughter an amazing, wonderful life, and is trying to do better. And then here you have parents, the grandparents, who are trying to take her away just because it is clear they don't agree with a part of their daughter. Well, the fact that her daughter's in love with another woman. How many people in this world who have the blessing of being a parent and being able to give birth and be able to procreate a child and be able to have something that so many men and women want in their life, but yet they throw their child out, or worst case scenarios, they eliminate them from this world, or they do devastating things to the poor babies, or people who constantly put them through hell, and yet here we have somebody who wants to give the world to their child but is ripped of that. I always think about those things just in general. It's like people who really want something so bad, for some reason, aren't allowed to have that, but people who don't care, they get all of it. And it makes me so sad to see that. It's hard for me to explain it because it hits home to me, and it just makes me so sad. You fight for something and you're trying to do things right, and you're trying to just be patient and hope that things are gonna get better, and hope that things are finally gonna go your way and the stars are finally gonna align. And yet you see people on the other side just having all these things that you wish you could have, taking it for granted and not caring. I don't know if I'm making sense, but maybe somebody out there knows what I'm trying to say or what I'm saying. It's just a messed up situation, and I wonder if parents who do these kinds of things don't realize that the one that will most likely be most affected is the child in the situation. I'm not saying that anybody else involved is gonna suffer, but I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people who do things like this don't stop and think that the child is going to suffer because of this. They might think that just because they're a little kid and they're happy and they're joyful all the time and they don't show their emotions, it's not affecting them. Or maybe they're just like, oh, they're too little to understand. I just hope that her parents and any other parents or family members out there who are doing this just because they don't agree with the fact that their son or daughter or family member is in love with someone of the same gender, and they just can't agree with that they're having them suffer. I think especially if it's somebody who is doing well and can provide and is doing all that they can to want to give their child a better life and make sure that the baby's okay and is fine, as not putting that baby in harm in any sort of way, it should not go to that extent. In the end, that parent, that person, whoever's doing that, should feel responsible for the damage that they're causing their grandchild or whatever the relation will be. I understand in cases where things are really bad and the parents cannot, absolutely not provide for them in any way, and the baby would be worse off. That's understandable. But this situation where it's just because of sexuality, it's saddening, it's disheartening. And I understand that there's people who grew up with this traditional mindset. It's clear that in a situation like this, especially if their household is toxic, they're not happy. Anybody who's living like that, I don't believe that they could be genuinely happy, because if somebody was genuinely happy, I believe they would not have these thoughts or desires to want to see somebody else suffer or punish somebody else. I just don't see that coming attached to genuine happiness, because when you're genuinely happy, you want others to be genuinely happy. You want others to be feeling what you're feeling. And that doesn't come with wanting to see others suffer or hurt others or do other things with ill intent. You don't want any of that. You have no room for that in your heart. It breaks my heart that this is happening, but I have faith that, especially if you do have that evidence that it is a toxic household and all of that, is just not good for the baby to be listening to or to be surrounded by, and she would be better off with you. I really do believe that you have a strong chance against this, and I really do urge you watching to please just take a second. Even if you're not able to donate, at the very least, please help them pass the word forward to your other LGBTQ plus friends and allies. Let's come together. Moments like these and situations like this around the world is when we need to come together and at least help by spreading the word. I know many times a lot of us can't financially help, but we can do something that is absolutely free, which is just pass it forward, which is just spread the word, which is just help and notify another person, hey, this is what's happening. Pass it forward, because imagine imagine you being in that situation and nobody wanting to help or nobody wanting to spread the word. That's something to think about. It's like they say, treat others how you want to be treated. If you were ever in this situation, I would hope that others would share and would do what they could to help. This is why I'm here to share this. I have nieces and nephews where I've seen the effects of a divorce or bouncing from home to home or changes in their life has really affected them. And so I know how much kids can really suffer from things like this, or toxic parents, grandparents, family members, friends, a toxic environment, toxic home, and how much damage can be done to them. Babies are born into this world as blank slates, and our first teachers are our parents, our family members, people we're surrounded by. So what you do teach a child sticks with them, and sometimes it sticks with them for life, and they become bitter and angry and upset, and they cause themselves their own sadness and traumas and damages because all along they were told that this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. So it affects them. Some really do break the barriers and they realize so much. It's terrible that this is happening and that it happens to so many individuals out there, to so many kids. I know I don't have as much of the attention that I used to maybe have on my videos, especially LGBTQ plus topics. But again, if you do feel it in your heart to share this forward, to want to help somehow and show your support, please share this link forward. I'll have it down in the description. If you're able to, please donate and please share this video forward. You know me, I always mention that you never know who you could be helping by sharing a video of mine or anybody else's that spoke to you in some way or another. Maybe it didn't speak to you, but you know somebody in your life or out there that it could benefit. So please pass it forward. It doesn't cost you a dime. Let's just help each other out. I know that the majority of the time we all get caught up in our own lives, and sometimes we forget to lend a helping hand or to see if anybody else is in need and be a little less selfish and a little bit more selfless. And so, hey, hear me this video. It's a little reminder to take a breather and say, hey, you know, I have the ability to help. Why not? Why not share it forward? Elizabeth wants you to know that she's really thankful to anyone who can support, whether it is sharing or contributing. Elizabeth, Melanie, stay strong. I have high hopes that Mary will be with you two again very soon, and things will begin to get better, and you will see. Just continue to be patient, continue to fight. I know I don't have to remind you that because I know you're gonna fight until the end. Of course you are, but sometimes it's nice to hear it from another person. Keep fighting. I'm pretty sure every single person that's watching this is going to feel so proud to see that you are not giving up this fight. It's encouraging to see, and I really do wish you three the absolute best. May everything go well, may everything go in your favor. You get your baby back, and everything begins to turn around for you. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for taking the moment out of your day to listen to me, listen to the story. Remember, the link is down below if you would like to check it out, if you'd like to read the story. And if you'd like to see more of me, check me out on my social medias on the screen or down below, wherever they fit on the screen. If you want to watch another video of mine, check this video right here or this video right here, and I'll catch you in the next video. And remember, if there's one thing that I want to call to mind, there are actually three. No matter the highs and lows, always be certain to do good, be grateful, and stay humble.